town of Kalbarri is located at the mouth of the Murchison River and has become a Mecca for tourists. It was originally established in 1951 and was primarily a fishing settlement. But the history of European contact with the coast goes back much further than that. The first rather unwilling white inhabitants of the area were two Dutchmen, Waterloos and Jan Pelgrim, who were put ashore after the Batavia tragedy in 1629. They were never seen again. A memorial to this event now sits at Whitakara Creek. In 1839, George Grey was shipwrecked near the mouth of the Murchison River and became an accidental overland explorer as he and his party made their way back to Perth on foot. It's surprising, given the harshness of the journey, that only one member of their party died along the way. The town site was gazetted in 1951, and the name appears to have come from a local Aboriginal tribesman. It may also be the name of a type of edible seed. The Aboriginal name for the area was Wurdamalu, although one source says the area near the river mouth was known as Khyber. A long corrugated dirt road from the coastal highway was once the only access point to the town, and it wasn't until 1997 that Kalbarri was connected to Port Gregory via a sealed road. The area's tourism potential was recognised very quickly, and the Kalbarri National Park was declared in 1963. The gorges to the northeast are estimated to be 400 million years old, and the beautiful setting of the town attracts people from all over the world. Cyclone Saroja devastated many buildings in the town in 2021, and the Seaview villas we stayed at in 2014 were completely destroyed. A lot of rebuilding has since taken place in Kalbarri, and things are pretty much back to business as usual now. One particularly sad victim of the cyclone was the parrot breeding centre of Rainbow Valley. Many of the parrots were either killed or escaped during the cyclone, and the centre has been closed ever since. Whether or not this centre is resurrected remains to be seen. The coastline in this area is spectacular. The fishing, when you can get a boat out of the river mouth, is good, and there are crabs to be caught in the river. We know from experience that there are also some large mulloway to be caught near the river entrance. The commercial fishing industry has declined over the years, and Kalbarri's future seems to be much more closely aligned with the tourism industry. There is, however, a small fishing fleet that still operates from the town marina. Kalbarri has all kinds of accommodation, from basic camping to upmarket apartments. It used to be one of those places at the end of the track, and it really was all the better for it. Now, George Grey Drive follows the coast south to Port Gregory, Horrocks Beach and Northampton, and it has opened up the whole area to tourism in a way that wasn't possible before. This has been both a good and a bad thing, but Kalbarri is developing quickly, and by the look of the housing developments going along the hills to the south of town, it won't be long before it loses that end-of-the-track charm. To the north of town, there's a myriad of tracks leading along the Murchison River. The area is pretty popular with four-wheel drivers, and the tracks range from easy to somewhat challenging. There are many very pleasant areas along the river where you can stop and enjoy a picnic, although there are no facilities. You can even drop a line in, as you might catch the odd wily bream up in that area. Kalbarri National Park is one of the major tourist attractions in the area, and there are two separate sections. The coastal section is closer to town and stretches south from the river mouth. The second section runs along the Murchison River Gorge and includes some very spectacular scenery. The park is something over 183,000 hectares and stretches east from the doorstep of Kalbarri to the Northwest Highway. The river has cut down deeply through the sandstone, and as a result, the area is rich with fossils. The gorge is around 80 kilometres long, but is only accessible at a few points. Hawk's Head, the Loop, Nature's Window, and Z-Bend are some of the best known features of the inland section of the park, and the recent construction of the skywalks has seen visitor numbers to the park increase dramatically. The two walkways extend out over the Murchison River, with the larger one of the two reaching 25 metres. This is about 4 metres longer than a similar construction in the Grand Canyon in the USA. The $24 million project opened in June 2020 and has begun to revitalise tourism in the area that had been flagging for quite a few years. The skywalk was pre-assembled by Alltype Engineering off-site to ensure that everything fitted together perfectly. It was then dismantled and reassembled where it sits today. The skywalks are anchored deep into the sandstone cliffs, and a lot of the excavated rock was used to landscape the surroundings. The coastal section of the park includes features like Mushroom Rock, Rainbow Valley, Red Bluff, Pot Alley, Natural Bridge and Island Rock, to name just a few. Due to its convenient location and the very interesting scenery, it's one of the most popular national parks in WA. The area has a diverse selection of wildflowers and also a large number of animal and bird species. A fauna reconstruction site has been established in the park to reintroduce species that have been lost to the area. Some walking trails have been established in the park, and these include the Mushroom Rock Nature Trail, the Coastal Trail, and the Loop near Nature's Window. The area is rugged, so it's suggested that anyone attempting the longer walks should do so in a group of at least 5 people. Anyone planning an overnight stop during the walk must notify rangers before they begin and once they complete the walk. Canoeing and rafting on the Murchison River are also popular activities in the park. Again, it's important to notify the rangers if you intend undertaking a trip along the river. If you're heading north or south along Highway 1, there is an excellent rest area located on the banks of the Murchison River at Galena Bridge. Entry points to the rest area are just north and south of the bridge, on the east side of the road. This is approximately 10 kilometres north of the Kalbarri turnoff, and the rest area has tables, barbecues, a toilet and bins. Not too far away is the road to the old Geraldine mine site. The site is of great historic importance to WA, but is currently being ignored by the authorities, and there are few signs or markers telling anybody where to find it. The turnoff is just south of Galena Bridge and heads west. No signs were evident during the time that we visited, but the road can be found on many maps. Follow this unsealed road until you see a chimney at Waribano. There is a large parking area here, and there are some interesting ruins to explore. To find the site of the old lead mines, turn back the way you came in, take the second track left, and after a short distance, this opens up to a large area on the left. This is the old mine site, and you will see piles of rubble here and there. There are some open shafts here, so be very careful with pets and children.